Take the mic.
What made you do this show?
Andre threatened me in the bathroom. I don't know, I think I've got a unique relationship with him, and I do a staggering amount of touring and shows a year, like we all do. And they've just been show on show on show on show. Unless you get a break to do editorial work, or runway work, or behind the tents, or Sundance, it breaks that. He is one individual that he phones me about probably 11 times a day and texts me for 24 hours a day. After we did the third dimension, we did a thing called singularity, which I didn't even know what it meant. And so when he said, let's do the next one, which is the fourth dimension, I went on the computer to find out what the hell that meant. And, looked at it and thought, that's pretty cool. So he just keeps talking me into this stuff. But this is why I've done it. We've never done this before. Right. And to be up here with these guys, it's like him and I go back unimaginable years. But we've never had a chance to work together. And Nick and I go back probably 50 years. 60 for him, 50 for me. And, well, 62. But it's like Andre said, this is a one-off. Really? This is a one-off.
The next question is for Nicholas French. Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything unique to prepare for the show?
Well, the first show I did for Emiliani was in 1979 when I came from England. And I went to the airport and said, does anybody know where Crampton, New Jersey is? The station's in. It cost me $104 to get there. And it was a bit sort of like, we're evening dresses, a bit interesting, I won't go any further. And I think the whole point of this is, what we say at our company, where you're sitting in, is it's all about hair, heart, equals imagination. And that's what we have here. And finally, as the last thing, I was in a very foreign country a year ago, and we had this press thing after the show. This woman asked me, why someone of your age comes here to teach our young people how to cut hair? So I thought, I'm trained by L'Oreal, the Martindale. Oh, thank you for your question, that's a really good question. Oh, a bit strange. Big person. I looked out the window, I saw Calvin Klein ad. Two topless people, a girl and a boy. And I said, can I ask you a question? So I said, okay, well, they asked me the question. And I said, how old is Calvin Klein? He's 64. How old is Karl Lagerfeld with the white hair and ponytail? Nobody will ever know. How old is Valentino? He's 75. How old is Emiliani? He's 81. Ralph Lauren, 63. I said, do you think they've had any influence on fashion? And then I said, I was getting into it there. Hang on a minute. So I said, final words, not too long, okay? Final words. And I was really, I was trying to be careful. President of L'Oreal Asia there, human resources, all these people, they've got the handcuffs out. Anyway, and they've got the tongue depressor, it's all going on. What's the difference between a professional hairdresser and a couturier? Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you. The couturier can choose its fabric, he can cut it and style it. But as a professional hairdresser, our fabric, we have to create the texture. She's sitting in a chair in front of a mirror, and we have to create it on our own. That's the difference. So thank you very much. We're on Asia today. The next day, 9 million people around the world who should read.
Great party.
Great.
How do you feel about the opportunity of being on stage with these amazing stylists?
Oh, yeah, I was talking about this earlier. There comes a time in your career where you're feeling comfortable, you know your information, you've done it 100 times, you've gone on stage, it's like the back of your hand. The only thing different, like Nicholas said, is the actual fabric that you're going to be working with. But hopefully you've had experience doing that. And I said, there comes a time when you don't really get nervous anymore. You look forward to sharing that information. I'm nervous this time. I'm being honest with you. Yeah. The hair is still standing up on the back of my neck. I just think it's a wonderful opportunity because through the years, I've looked at these people, they've all been part of who I am today as far as influencing me in one way or another. And Michael O'Rourke, who's not here this evening, probably had the most influence. I worked side by side with him for 10 years, and just to be recognized and being asked to be part of this history-making event is just a little bit overwhelming, and I want to thank each and every one of you before and right now. So thank you for letting me be part of this fantastic group.
The next question is for Tim Hartley. What do you think a show like this will do for the industry? It's a good one, right?
Yes, very good one. First of all, I'm standing for the press because I think I look nicer. And I really need you to talk about me.
Give him your best side.
Which is it? Okay. First of all, I've completely forgotten what the question is. But I would like to say what a class act Emiliani are. They brought me all the way from Heathrow this morning to be here. I think that's pretty impressive. Don't you think? And for those of you who don't know me, I was formerly the creative director of Sassoon. I was with that name for over 35 years. These days you get less for murder. And I've always been associated with the best, and so here I am. But what was the question again?
The question was, what do you think a show like this will do for the industry?
Well, I feel that I've been very lucky to have been showcased in America, and I think that this gives us the opportunity to do our best. And it's the most vitally important ingredient within our industry today. It's very important that all these, the good and the great, impart their experience and knowledge for everyone, but I think particularly for the young people. And I don't want to get shot in flames, but quite often the manufacturers have too much say in what happens in, with hair. And here we are. And I'm not going to get into trouble for saying that because it's true. But here we are, I think, with an opportunity to do something that's all about the hair, and we're going to do some kick-ass hair. So I think that's what's going to be happening.